It's a high-tech conversation.
And a low-tech topic.
Live on the World Wide Web via Zoom. Bench Talk 101.
Evening, everyone, and welcome to Bench Talk 101. Tonight's speaker is Anthony Cimaglia. Nearly I said it wrong. Cimaglia told me this last night. First had the idea of bringing Anthony on, and I've known about what he does. He's going to talk about that a little bit. He's got a vast history in woodworking and tools, and moved on to other things, which he's going to tell us about, I'm pretty sure. So just to introduce you all to Anthony, and I'll spotlight him for everyone. There we go. Evening,
Hey,
Anthony.
how's everyone doing today?
Over to you.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. My name's Anthony. I run a couple different things around the antique tool world, and I'm just been having a really good time lately. Can you guys all hear me?
Yep.
I just want to make sure. There's nothing like going a couple minutes before you figure out you're on mute. All right, so is anybody here a member of Can I Have It?
Yes.
Awesome.
Few people.
Any of you guys actually buy anything? You guys have any cool tools or anything?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's get a spotlight going on someone. I want the coolest tool that you got off Can I Have It? And then what was the coolest part about winning a tool on Can I Have It? Because I know a lot of times people don't really understand the excitement of that build up for the auction end. And I think that that's one of those things that draw people back week after week of finding something really cool and then going from there. One of the coolest things I ever got on Can I Have It is from Europe. End award. I won this bad boy in a waffle. So this thing, I love it. Enda, this is one of two. Enda only made two of these in existence. So this is one of two. I don't know if you guys know Enda Ward, but we're big fans of the Can I Have It community.
Enda's joined before. He's joined Bench Talk a few times before.
I wish he was here. I would have my visual crush on him. I wouldn't even know how to talk. So I wanted to talk briefly about the Can I Have It thing. Basically, what we're trying to do is connect the globe together for the tool sales. I know Europe has the patch version. We have the Can I Have It version. And basically, all we want to do is get users in the shop. That's all we want to do. We attract users who use tools. We attract collectors who just want to, have the coolest access to the coolest tools. And then we get the flippers who obviously could see a way to make money, flip stuff, or, they're hoarders. So they love that stuff.
Can I interrupt for a second, Anthony?
I'm sure everybody on this podcast fits into one of those little realms or multiple.
Anthony.
How you doing, Chet? I didn't see you before. I saw you sneak in at the end.
I'm here.
Anthony,
Oh,
tell us a little bit about how Can I Have It started.
Oh man, how did it start? Paul Fiasco, I think his last name is Paul F. Who we should all love, appreciate, and adore. He basically went to one of a couple of people online. COVID had hit, and nobody could go to tool meets. There was a moment where basically we had nowhere to go. We couldn't go to the tool meets. So Paul called me up and he said, "Hey, listen, I know you're like a really good hoarder and you have a good eye for things. Do you want to see if we could bring the world together?" I said, "Yeah, let's try it. I could probably fund it for like 3 months, I figure." And then it just took off. So I was selling all my really cool stuff. And what is it, like 6 years later, the thing's still going strong. So it was one of those things where we just wanted a respectful place because we couldn't get out in the world. We made it so there were multiple days during the week to just bring you through the week. So we had, I think it was Makers Monday, Teaser Tuesday, Wishlist Wednesday, Throwdown Thursday. So we needed to get you through the week because there really was nothing going on in the world at that time during COVID. So we did that. We stuffed tools down everybody's throat, and every week we had 500 members joining, 300 members. It got crazy. It was like a tidal wave. At some points during the beginning of that flow, I was going on week after week, going live streams basically telling everybody how many new members we had here, how many new members we had there. It was really an exciting time in my life. Um, and it just took over. But basically, the admin team and the mods are pretty much the best thing ever. They help out dramatically. I couldn't do it without it. And the community itself is self-governed at this point. Everyone knows who's BSing, everyone knows who's messing around. We could smell a rat from a mile away, so we already know we're not interested in messing around. So we just have a really great atmosphere, and we just want everybody to be in it. I do not, as well as the admin team, do not go around just banning people for fun. We want everybody there because it's a potential person that could create something. So that's pretty much it.
Excellent.
Anybody
you
have
want-
any questions?
Anybody any questions so far?
I believe it's Paul Fisicaro rather than Fiasco.
Oh, he creates a lot of fiascos. I love him.
Okay.
So I don't mind saying his name wrong. I love the guy. I actually talked to him the other day. So he's still around in the tool world. He's doing more model making and stuff like that. So he just keeps his focus on that stuff. And he's a commercial fisherman. So if anybody's in the Keys, he would be a great person to reach out to. He does sport fishing and stuff like that. He has his own business. And we should support each other. That's just the way this is. Speaking of that, the website Woodyah, I'm going to go more into details and the products and all that stuff. But for the most part, one of the big missions I have is the Maker's Mall. It goes completely off what you were just saying. I want to connect the globe. How do you do it? So the Maker's Mall for me was the ability to find people around the world that can make really cool things and get them exposure and get somebody else to know that they exist. These mallets are from Spain. They came. He is a maker in the mall, and you guys could go look at it. These are absolutely beautiful. If you knew any people that need something like this, I want to connect you with it. There's people out there that are doing D&D games that would die for something like this. So that's the type of community I want to do. You may not sell it to a woodworker because they can make their own, but I want people around the globe to have access to some really cool stuff, right? So that's kind of the feeling behind the Maker's Mall, because I like to make stuff, but I also want to make everybody rise with me. That's one of the major points that I want to drive home. To sit here and want to harness all this stuff for myself, I have thousands of people coming to Woodyah now. Thousands of people. Every month I have thousands of people coming, and I have the ability to share some of those oddballs with my friends. This happens to be a box that was sent to me that I haven't opened yet. So I'm going to open it live for a little bit. I may not go crazy, but this was Don Rains. He's one of the sellers on Can I Have It? He had reached out to me and said, "You want to do this?" And I agreed. I said, I want you in my mall because you make beautiful things on Can I Have It every week. So now Don went ahead and sent me a beautiful box. And this is just a couple of them. This is the type of stuff I want to do. I want to have these things on my website. I don't even know what this is. Could be a middle finger. Oh my God. So he's stepping up his game. Look at this. So this is the type of stuff that I want access to. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I don't know if you guys, I could talk about this. So with the Maker's Mall, all I want to do is have people who are confident, they're my friends, and they're able to make cool stuff. I want them to be able to have access to my audience because I want us all to grow together. And that's pretty much it. The tools, I did summer camp woodworking. I don't know if has anyone ever been an instructor, like an instructor or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a couple in here.
So one of the coolest things about being an instructor for me was seeing the light up in someone's eyes. I did the summer camp woodwork and I taught over 600 kids in a year. And the number one thing that came out of it was a lot of kids don't know how to do anything. And it's up to us as makers and creative people to get people off the iPads and get them back into the shop. Tools are cool, guys. We know it, right? Now we have to get the people off of it. I just drove my son home from school who was telling me that they do, what was the name of it? Blocks, gink blocks or something like that. And he makes a fake world. He makes a whole fake world in this app. And I said, well, why don't we just go to the store and buy some stuff? We'll just make something. And he couldn't even grasp the concept. So that's what we have to get away from as people. We need to be able to realize that kids can make anything, adults can make anything. Anything you want to build is just a series of boxes. And how big do you want to make the boxes? And that's really it. And once people get that concept, their creativity just goes.
I'm going to interrupt just for 2 seconds, and I didn't explain this. Apologies for that. But anyone on the Zoom call, if they have a question, rather than interrupting like I've just did, stick your hand up in the reactions. So if you look in the little bar in the Zoom bar, there's a react button, and you can click that, and then myself or one of the other co-hosts will see doing that. And we can then interrupt Anthony at a good time and then say we've got questions.
Yeah,
So
you
there's
guys have
George.
any questions about anything in particular, what I'm working on, the rulers? I mean, I want to make this interactive. Just let me know. I'm a person who interacts.
So Andy's
Oh,
stuck in the chat. Fruit boxes rule. Andy has a thing, and I'm not sure you've seen Andy online, but he keeps all his tools in fruit boxes. So in the UK, you get these very sturdy. I think they're actually
the
made of
banana
cardboard.
boxes?
Yeah,
Banana?
like
Yeah,
Yeah.
like banana boxes.
Oh,
So they're made of cardboard, but they're really, really sturdy, and they stack really well. So you can stack them up. I think they've got wood in the corners. And most of these tools are kept in fruit boxes. So that's one of his things.
I
So
love it. I love it.
Scott's actually put his hand up, and he's got a question. Thanks, Scott. Let me just spotlight you so we can see you.
Okay, Scott.
And spotlight. There you
Hey,
go, Scott.
Anthony, I know you've got these new rods that you produced, and you mentioned something when I talked to you yesterday about finding a manufacturer who can do the threading for like Stanley 50 rods, which are threaded. Have you made any success on that yet? Finding someone who can do that?
So I have just got access to I have my messenger working again, so I'll be working on it. But there is somebody that I could speak to regarding that. So that's kind of cool. These are all things that are just going to be happening over time. Right now, the state of can I have it is the entire universe wants the stuff I make, and my wife won't let me take a loan to make sure I could buy it all. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think everybody in the audience in the world all knows that feeling of like, there's momentum, but we got to just take a step back or we're going to fall on our face. So I don't, as of right now, I just heard back and it's going to be mid April. I should have everything back in stock, like the toe turners, the 50 depth stops that work on both the record as well as the Stanley 50s. I think I'm going to try and get the 46 step stop made. I'm going to have the longer 1220 screws so you could start doing your long back tote rods. I have the threads already made now. It's just like, hey, Anthony, tell them to make it longer, so it's just common sense. Why am I not doing it? Right. So, but as far as the threaded rods go, that will happen. I just recently got into the the rod game again. And they're really cool. I mean, I went to Joe Ricky's house because I have my bandsaw, but I ended up going to Harbor Freight for the bandsaw blade, but they don't make it. So I said, listen, I got an 80-inch blade I need for my Craftsman. The guy's like, your Craftsman, that's an 80-year-old machine. For 50 more bucks, I'll just sell you a whole new bandsaw. And I had to walk out. But at the end of the day, all these parts are going to be made, right? It's just a matter of the continual growth of stickers, which I hope, which will take off. I'm going to go into that. I made some French curves. I got a laser machine, so I recreated an old school French curve thing. And then I actually have these. I actually didn't show these to the world at all. So I really actually am going to look for feedback right now. But give me a second here. So one of the things that I do want to do, let's see if this top cam works. All right, perfect. All right, so one of the cool things that I do want to show is the French curve set. And let me just get this camera over this better. Sorry, guys. I haven't really used my shop cameras since I used to go live at Can I Have It. So I'm kind of like redoing this all. I was telling them yesterday. Just give me a second. Just gonna squeeze it. Is that good? All right, cool. It's good enough. Luckily, I got wheels on this thing, and we'll make it work. All right. So the French curves. So what I wanted to do was I sold on Can I Have It a set of 7 French curves. I absolutely loved them. The world went nuts. People started messaging me. So I had a really crappy photo. I ended up remaking all of them again. So what I did was after I got it out of the laser cutter, I went in there, scooped it all out, put it right into the box. So what we have right now is the negative, which I never really see available, as well as all of these positives. But what I wanted to do was have the ability for people to have the 2-to-1 scale. So I made the smaller ones and then the bigger ones. So everything there, if you want to go to molding and draw something cool, and then if you want to do something on the next, you can now have that perspective. So that's something that I wanted to just make something better. I don't ever just want to make something status quo. And I have a lot of empty room on that sheet. So I have a feeling I'm going to be stuffing more stuff in, because what's the difference if the laser runs another 2 minutes and we got a woodworker with multiple things and multiple uses. So these are really cool. Does anybody have any questions on these?
I don't see any hands up.
I totally appreciate various sizes of the same French curves. That has always been a frustration to a person who taught drafting and woodworking, to be able to duplicate by increase or decreasing the size. That's a great move.
I feel not only the 2-to-1 is a bonus, but I'm also giving the insides, the things that got cut out and normally forgotten, right? So now you have like really cool, like you can make eyebrows out of that. You could do whatever you want to do. I really don't care what the hell you want to make. But at the end of the day, I want people to be able to use stuff and take their ideas and expand, right? Because in the world we're in right now, we're locked in. It's, did this person make it the way we need it? No? All right, well, you just have to use it. But now you guys have access to somebody who wants to make something for us. So now that's exactly what I want to do, and I want to do it on a global level. So yes, we're gonna keep making these. I just released these. These are on the Can I Have It website. I think they're in the innovation section, so you guys should go in there. I have the other things in there, the stay put rulers, a couple other things in there that are prototypes coming alive. But I mean, a lot of the stuff that I do, it just has to work. It has to be fun. Like the fugly fence. You guys ever hear of the fugly fence?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I have 2 of them from you, and I love them.
Oh god, dude, they're so good. So the fugly fence for all you gents out there. So the fugly fence, what the hell is it, right? So what I did was, everybody out there has the Stanley 78 fence, but the problem with the Stanley 78 fence is it's always missing. So what I did was I found a way where I could take 2 pieces of hardware, these 2 little brackets, and I was able to put them together and reimagine how a fence should work. Because when I went to my people, it was going to be like $60 to make the fence. And I said, if I'm going to make the fence, if I was a woodworker, would I ever spend that money? And the answer for me was no. I couldn't say for X dollars, I'm going to buy it, and then I have to mark it up and people are going to have to eat that. No, we're not doing that. So I literally told them I'm not building it. They came down on price, this and that. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. So sometimes you have to tell them no. You have to say no and then make it happen. So this was an idea of innovation. And when you put these pieces together, it really does work well, because this is a perfect 90. All right. Everything holds tight. And then I even included, not included, but as an upsell, a doorknob. Let me see if I can find it somewhere. So as an upsell, I put a doorknob. And I had a call the other day. Someone said, what is the doorknob for? I can't figure out how to mount it. So I said, guys, it's not like a mountable thing. It's just to help you hold the tool. So when you come in here, you basically just tighten this down. Let me see if I can find a screwdriver out of my 500,000 things that I own, but never a flathead. All right. So once you put it on, you just tighten it down. And you guys probably all have these at your house. You don't need to buy it from me. All right. You put it in. You can put it tight if you want, but there's no need. You're not using it to carry the tool. No one needs that. But when you put it on the wood, now all of a sudden you have sideways pressure as well as downward force, and that creates all the fun you need. So I want to just explain the doorknob because that is pretty huge. And it was so funny because for years I wanted to make a doorknob coat rack. So I was collecting all these, and hoarders, you just keep buying them when you see the pile. You just keep going, and you don't care. So then all of a sudden, Wood by Right went live, talked about the fugly fence, and I sold all my doorknobs. I'm down to like my last 6. So I'll never make the coat rack, but the universe gave me the doorknobs to use on this moment. So the fugly fence is huge. With the rods, I offer multiple sizes. They're 303 stainless. All right. I cut them. And then I take the extra step. I go over to the belts, the disc sander, and I just put it on and I just roll it. I just roll it. And it creates a beautiful chamfer. And there's nothing better than looking at the end of the rod and knowing someone cared. Because there is a lot of rods you can buy online that when they come, just right down, and that's it. You don't get the warm and fuzzy. So that's I don't even know how to show you this. But on the website there's better photos. I mean, it's a rod. I mean, we're not all getting too excited, but it's a scenario where now we could do it. So these are also the 3-inch rods, which were only available in early 45 models. So we brought that back. They're generally for the hollows and rounds. So you would put this on the hollow round, and when you mount it, it wouldn't have much play extra. The earlier ones did have a threaded rod to go into the body, but I'm not interested in that. I'm not doing that yet. So the 3-inch rods work well with the hollows and rounds. I'm waiting on Tom Rager to get back to me regarding the biggest hollow and round size to see if it fits. That's the only one I'm not sure about. But that's why God made 4-inch rods. So then a lot of these other things that I do, has anyone actually had like a real injury in the shop? Anyone? Anyone like lose a fingertip or get some crap in their eye? Anybody?
I'm sure we've all had injuries from time to time.
Say it again.
I'm sure we've all had injuries from time to time.
Yeah. So let me get this out of the way. So the reason I say that is I want people to go to a machine and know they need to put their goggles on. I want people to do all that. And I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm not going to show pictures or anything like that. But I almost cut my finger off with a Japanese pull saw. And I had this idea when I was sitting in the ER saying to myself, oh, I probably just could have had like a visual reminder on something and made me realize that I needed to put my goggles on or to take my time or do X, Y, and Z. So in Woodyah, I have a section in the shop stickers where I just have stickers that basically just simple things like, why am I in this room? I think that's funny. The safety checklist. I put this on my I put this on the table so right before I do it. It says check the setup, secure the work, wear eye protection, secure your clothes/hair, stay focused and one task at a time. People, we need these things. This is literally it because we walk to these machines and we just take it for granted. We think that we're going to be fine at the end of the day. And then when we're sitting there with doubts when it was so easy to avoid, right? You have like a do not open sticker. Those are kind of cool. I made the body mechanics, the saw form, so you know how to remind yourself how to stand when you're doing a hand saw. put your goggles on, you only get one chance. I think it's funny because the smiley face has one eye and an X over the other one because he didn't take the hit. So I like to do little things like that, little safety checklist before you do it. You put it on. I just think that these are kind of cool to do. I also have. Are any stickers you guys would imagine that maybe I didn't hit? Maybe there was something that maybe should be said. Are you guys just anti-sticker people? I got to find my sticker people. Any sticker people? All right, you're not my people. That's fine. Fine. I don't. It don't bother me. I'll see you in the ER, guys. So,
Shrenik's actually got a question.
good.
Yeah, I was
Let me
coming in on the
spotlight you,
stickers. You must have a sticker that just says this is a plain sticker, and that's all it is.
Wow, dude, where have you been all my life? Are you kidding me? I love it. I love it. I think but that's the type of stuff, right? It's just like, this was one that was inspired by Disney World. I wish you guys could see it. But I went to Disney World and my son came back from the restaurant, the bathroom at the restaurant, and the guy looked at him because, whatever. And he said something like, did you wash your hands? My son obviously lied. And he asked him what color the soap was. His face dropped. He didn't know what to say, So like I made a sticker that says, wash your hands. What color is the soap? So if you're dealing with kids, like these are like little things that you could put around the house. So we're past the shop in a lot of ways. I have a sticker for the lint trap with like a little fire coming out the side. So these are like all little things that like safety's everywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be the shop. So I want to branch out because I think it is important that a lot of these safety stickers we have nowadays are kind of lame. They are lame. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be safe. So I want to have non-lame shop stickers. You guys ever mess around with resin handles at all? You guys ever mess with resin?
No, show us what you've got.
So I spoke to people around the globe, and I tried to get people to make the plane handles for me. Turns out anybody that has the ability to make plane handles will be making more expensive things and will not talk to me. So I said to myself, okay, what are we going to do about it? We're just going to sit here and cry? So I went ahead and I had a thought and I said, could we start modeling these things, And I ended up making like threaded rods for the 45 or the threaded ones for the 45, the always missing block plane ones. And these are like really cool. So this is an idea in motion right now that is working really, really well. Oh, look at that. I got a righty toe turner. I didn't even know I had one. I'll be selling that later. So that was cool with these little resin things. I'm gonna make the bigger handles as well. But resin's cool. I don't know how long the longevity is, so I didn't want to run out and sell them. I'll probably give them out to friends first. But that's something of interest for me. I wanna be able to like put the spins in it. I often think about like a bowling ball, right? Like when we were kids, I used to go to the bowling alley, even as adults. But you go to the bowling alley and you'd always see like that cool rose inside of it, right? So I was thinking like, how could we bring that kind of stuff in there? Because everybody would really want to hold a 45 with some cool stuff inside of it. That was kind of my thought. I think outside the box.
Got a question from Chester.
Yeah, Anthony. When you're talking about resin, are you talking about printing them, or are you talking about casting resin?
Oh, casting. I'm having fun.
Okay. Because
I
I've
wish.
a video on printed totes for planes.
Yeah. So
And knobs.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
So I did the printed totes a while ago. Zach Schumann, I think, gave me some of them. I didn't go forward with those. And that was years ago. That was even before Woodyah started. I have one on a plane. They work. When I started going towards the 3D, it was in the beginning for like the toe turners, but that was only for prototype stuff. I started doing the SLS printed. Yeah. That's the SLS print. Oh God, I can't even believe you have that thing. Oh my God. I got his grown-up cousin there.
Yeah,
so,
and of course the tote turner.
Oh, you have the original?
Yeah.
Oh, Chad, I love you. I love you. So they have
Chester,
taken
can
off.
I ask, how do you find using that? Like when you're using a shooting plane and you're holding the handle rather than your hand being more forward up near the blade? Does it make a difference?
Not terribly, because you have the front knob to apply some pressure. But
Sure.
the only issue with this is the problem with the plane itself, and that is that you can see that this part of the plane's side comes very close to the handle. So when you're holding it, it's a little pinchy up in here, but it's negligible.
Yeah, but
It's
Chet, you
very
just have to
negligible.
read. You have to. So
I
so
just took
so
my pinky off and I was fine.
yeah. That's the key. When you get in there, you just glide. You put your finger. You get the finger on, and
Yeah,
that's the trick. And that's like that with anything. That's the 78. That's all. So it's not a negative. It's just a different way where you hold it. That's it.
yeah.
That
Just a
because
matter.
I'm really just adapting 100-year-old tool to an idea that I had, and it's working great.
Yeah, no,
So
no issue.
So I am very proud of the toe turner, and it adds like a pound of weight, which really it's a battering ram. I mean, I don't know if anybody here has one. I think Scott might have one, but they're just great. The pilot hole screw chart is another thing that I made. I don't know if you guys have it, but I have in here the screw size. Okay, I have the shank diameter that's there, as well as the types of bits that you need, as well as the countersink bit and the auger bit, which I'm like a tool nerd, so I don't know if you guys even appreciate it, but there is a unicorn next to the 3 because we all know the number 3 size is a unicorn. So I mean, there's no better way to express that you're a tool nerd by showing it. So there's a unicorn on this, okay? And I have all the other things in there. So a lot of the things I do, I want to always have, like, if someone new comes to this, so I explain counter bits down there, counter sinks. I explain holding the drill straight. I should have had a hyphen dad under there because that was my entire life, him screaming at me to hold it straight, as well as keeping the flashlight where it should be. I could never, I can't do it. So hold the drill straight is huge. And then another thing that I didn't really know until I did this was the shank diameter is not the threads. All right, folks. So if you're at home sitting there saying to yourself, I got to drill out for a hole, you're not measuring for the threads. You're measuring for the shank. The threads is what goes into the wood. So always remember that. And with hardwood, the wood is hard, guys. Really think about it. So when you go to put the screw into that wood, there's no room because the fibers are shrinking again. They're hard. They're coming back. So with the pilot hole with that, it's often pretty much like the same. I think it's a little bit bigger than the hole itself because it's going to account for the shrinking, and then the threads go in. So if you don't countersink like a brass screw, it just basically like rips out, and you're just sitting there with vice grips and a ruined piece of wood. So just remember that you're gonna want to remember that the softwood, you could literally just put a drill bit up to the light and see it disappear, and you're pretty much good from there. But with hardwood, just make it a little bit bigger because the threads, and when it shrinks back down on it, it has to grab. So that's pretty much it. But let the threads do the work. So this is the type of stuff I want to bring. And this is the type of stuff that I think needs to be in every shop. For the people that don't have wall room like myself, because I like to just store everything off the ground, I made a pretty cool sticker with the same thought process. This actually isn't the right sticker, but I made it so the shank could actually disappear on the sticker. I don't think you could see it, but I put these are in the sticker section of the site. But I have these in here now so you could actually watch it disappear opposed to guessing if you're right. And I think that that's a game changer because a lot of the games that we do in the woodworking shop is really just guessing until it works, right? You have to make your mistakes. We're not perfect. We're not machines, and we're not, we don't know all the answers. So that's some of the other things. The other sticker that I made that pretty much is a game changer to the entire tool world. This has never been done, and they are flying off the shelves. But these right here, I sell a sample pack for screws. It includes the 1220, the quarter 28, and the 1228, 1220, and quarter 28. Those are your main standard screws across the Stanley planes. So how does a sticker work, right? So now you're sitting here and you're saying to yourself, all right, cool. I have a really cool sticker. What do I do? You just put this on the bench, and all you do is just put a screw next to it and you align the threads. You grab another plane, you find those screws. If it works in your plane, don't cross strip it, but we're alive, you use common sense. You basically just put it in. Does it turn? Yes. Okay, great. Let me put it on here and then see what screw it is. And people have literally have been able to connect all the dots that they haven't been able to do ever. So I offer a downloadable version for all the people that just want to print it out because they have printers and I'm good enough to make it. Or the sticker version, so you could actually just pop it on. These are made with the what is it? The LX500. I forgot the name of the printer, but it's a commercial labeler. With all my stickers, I do not want to print a million of these, right? So if you guys like a couple of those stickers that I made for the shop safety, if I see 10 or 15 sell, I will order 1,000 from the real store and they'll be waterproof, this and that. And then I'm the type of guy that's going to just send you the better stickers in the mail and you'll be good. So it's like, I just need to know where the pulse is and then I'm gonna let it go. So, because I can't lose money.
Anthony, can you lift your
What?
camera up? Can you lift your camera up slightly so we can see your face?
Oh, you like that? Give me a second.
Yeah, well, we can see you from. Oh, there you go. Look, that's
Look at
better.
that handsome guy. Is that good? All right, good. All right, so another sticker I made too, because being a hoarder, you kind of realize where your shortcomings are. So sometimes you get stacks of blades, and you're gonna sit there and you'll say to yourself, okay, cool, I'll just hold a ruler and have fun all day. Well, that's not fun. So what I did was I made a sticker, okay, that has all the sizes there, so you could quickly sort and organize all your stickers. So it's as simple as this. You come to my sticker, you get a blade, you lay it on. If the red disappears, you know what size it is and you could sort accordingly. So that is one of my goals. I just want to make people have an easier time in the shop and remove all the little things that annoy us. Let's think about anything. Oh, these were huge. So when I did my first order on Woodyah, I was redoing an Irwin box, and they don't make those. They don't make the steel clips anymore. So I ended up having them created. So now I am pretty much the only source of these ever on Earth right now. And I didn't have a way to really put them onto the wood. I couldn't figure it out. I was very upset because I couldn't get the screwdriver in with the screw to get into the wood. And I kind of gave up on them. I didn't really advertise them. I didn't really care about them. And the other day I was sitting there looking at it and I said, I made the fugly fence and I used rivets. Holy cow. So I went ahead and I put it together and this is perfect. These are literally perfect. Like everybody should have this. It's one of those cry once, move on type scenarios because they cost me a fortune to make. So it's going to cost you a fortune to get, but they don't exist otherwise. So this is another thing I want to bring to the shop because there's nothing like having a 5 set of chisels and then putting a pencil so you never forget it. So that's kind of something I want to bring back to the world. And I think that the chisel racks are going to be really cool coming up. And I hope people start feeling that excitement to say, I have 5 chisels that constantly fall out and I'm tired of resharpening the corner of them. And once you figure out that this is the way that stops all your aggravation, this is where it's at, folks. So I think that the clips are good. I don't have many. So if you were on the fence or thinking about redoing your shop, I would definitely hop on that. Is there any questions?
I don't see any hands up. You could talk about, and I'm not going to interject, but I mean, what about your rulers that you're making?
The rulers.
Yeah,
So the ruler
thing, Anthony, is you're telling us all this, but do you have a catalog? Do you have what? How does somebody know if they're not on this show right now the things that you make and how to get them?
So if they were interested, they would go to woodyah.com. That's WOODYAH.com. I ship globally. Within America, I do flat rate shipping. I believe it's $6.99. I had to put it up because the toe turner with the 1 pound, all the things started costing way more than they should have. So I had to move my flat rate from $6 to $6.99. It usually costs me about 8 when there's a toe turner or other parts in there. So I'm cool with losing $1 because I'm making it off of the single orders with just screws. Because I'm not in it to be greedy. I'm really not. I don't want to be greedy. So one of the things here that I came up with that I love, during the beginning of COVID, I came up with this idea called print ad revival. And basically I bought, I'd say 100 popular mechanics magazines. And I love all those old ads, the old tool ads. It just never took off. Nobody cared for them. And quite frankly, I couldn't hold on to all the picture frames and all that stuff. So I was cool with it. But what I thought about was when I go on and I post on all these groups, people sometimes go gaga. They love the photos I put. Like it's all the tool porn, they love that stuff. So I said, could I put and use it? Can I use my laser engraver to lock these moments in time? Because some of these are like really beautiful photos I take, right? So I made like the stamps, right? So now these are like, you could put your own bottom on there. I could customize it. I could change it. I made like a couple little guys here. I don't know if you guys can see it. But I think like things like this are just cool because I've walked into like high-end restaurants and I've seen stuff like this on the side. I have seen stuff like this there. This is like really cool. Like imagine this, right? Who the hell has all these bedrocks that they could take that photo? That photo's not coming back. Nobody's getting this photo anywhere else but here. So this is the type of stuff that I think is just cool for creative people. Does anyone know who that is? Come on, nerds. Come on.
Arm and Hammer.
No, come on. He's from Brooklyn. Wow, none of you guys. Oh, I forgot I'm in Europe. My fault. Oh man, you guys got me good. This is oh god damn it. Harvey Peace Sore. So you guys really gotta start. You gotta step up your game. So right here, Charlie Ernest made me the Looney Tunes saw. I don't know if you guys know this one, but this is featured in his book.
Charlie's been on the show.
And then I had just big tools, big job, big tools. I just think these things are fun, So like, I really just want to be creative and just have fun. That's my goal. Anybody else have any questions? All right, good. Let's see what we got left. The rulers. Let me get back to that. So the rulers. I made a couple of them. And I actually think the future for these rulers is going to be really cool. Because I'm tired of rulers where I have to just keep getting different rulers and nothing ever works right. And I can't get this angle and I need to get it on the side. And why doesn't the ruler reach this? It's always a song and a dance of why I got to grab another ruler. So I made these big block rulers. Okay. One of the cool parts about this ruler is I have on top the fractionals. Okay. Let me switch angles. Hold on. So what I have here is where are we? There we go. There we go. So what we have here is the fractionals, complete ruler. All right. We have the 16 and 32, I believe it is. And then I put another ruler on the side. And then on the back, I'm going to put a grid. Ignore all this nastiness. This is prototype. But imagine like grids on the back. How often do you have a piece that you would just love to put on top of the ruler? These are all little things that like are just going to make our lives better. I like the idea of coming to the side of something and being able to mark it. I don't think that exists anywhere else. That's something I want to bring to the table. I want to do all this type of stuff. And then inside of it, have all little cool messages inside of it. That tools are cool. All right? We want people to realize they have to measure twice. These are all little things that have to get burned into people's heads. And when we want the next generation coming in, they got to have these burned in. They need to know.
Is
So
that,
I want to make
that
tons of
inlay
rulers.
etched? Is that how is that applied? Is it just printed on the block?
So I use a laser, okay? And then I have after the laser is done, I will go ahead and I do the before I even do the laser, I'll play 2 coats of glances on it, make sure it's nice and good, and then I'll put it in the laser machine, let it burn, and then I fill in the gaps, the voids with paint, which I'm pretty happy about. They actually come out really nice. So this is what this is the type of stuff I want to bring to market. I want rulers that no one cares about and that are going to work. I don't need to do anything else but make sure people could stay in the shop and they can measure in 50 different ways. With this one, the original idea with the crosshatch that I have here was that I'm going to actually put the odd job scribe through this thing. And I'm going to make a little holder for the scribe as well. So the game's going to change. We're innovating. There's nothing else here but forward progress. So now we just need to make sure. I even tried making I tried making this. I failed miserably. But but you got to make mistakes or else you never know if it works. But I wanted to make a folding ruler, so I popped a rivet in here. Turns out you couldn't do it. So I got to figure out another way. But had I not made that mistake, I would have wondered for the next 20 years if a rivet would have worked. So that's kind of the whole point that I want to make, that you have to try things. You have to go out of your comfort zone. It took me like a year before I cut my first dovetail. I went over to my friend Bill's house and he said, "What the hell is wrong with you? Just take the saw in your hand. Let's walk over here and you just don't cut the wrong side out. That's all you got to do. All it is just fitting stuff together, and you make sure that the V is fatter than the piece that you're going into, and then you pare it down so it fits." It's like all these little things that just are not really talked about because nobody's doing it anymore. So having mentors are huge. My mentor, I owe him so much. He doesn't even know how much I appreciate him. But at the end of the day, we just need to keep people getting into the shop. That is our number one goal. You guys seen this thing?
We've got a question from Scott before you move on to that.
Go, Scott.
At the beginning, you talked about, applying this to a larger global market. Are you thinking about doing these rulers in metric?
I am thinking about everything. I actually would love, because I was looking at a bunch of rulers yesterday, having the metric millimeters, having centimeters, having the regular standard imperial, whatever the hell it is. But I wanna bridge the gaps with that stuff. So I would almost want it to be a conversion chart. Like one of the stickers that I have, I don't even know where the hell it is, but one of the stickers I have is basically how to read a ruler, and I have that available on the site. And it basically will help people realize and take the mystery out of it. So like for instance, this, I bet you some people in the audience right now will not even know this. I'm going to probably blow some minds away. When you're looking at an auger set, auger bits, they are labeled 1 through 16. What does that mean? Right? Nobody knows. Nobody knows unless you know. What it means is it's 1/16 of an inch. That's all it is. So if you're grabbing a 4, it's a 1/4 inch. If you're grabbing an 8, you're on a 1/2 inch. But nobody thinks that. Nobody even understands that. That is the stuff that we have to bring back into common knowledge, because that is the stuff that matters. So I have a sticker with that because I want these little things to get drilled into their heads because they don't get it. They don't understand it. And no one's telling them. People are literally sitting there like, what does 3 mean? They have no idea it's 3/16. They have no idea. I feel bad for them. But that's at the end of the day, that's the type of stuff we got to get back into mainstream, because that's the type of stuff that's going to get people back into the shop and interested in making mistakes so they can make something beautiful. That's all we need to do. So that pretty much is where I'm at. I don't even know how long I talked. I apologize.
No, you're fine. I think just to kind of back up what Scott was saying is that you've got 4 sides to your kind of chunky rulers, and you could do metric on 2 of the sides, and then you could do imperial on the other 2 sides. And then your audience, and I think there's a lot of Americans actually using metric now. They'll still traditionally use Imperial, and we do use Imperial in the UK as well as we use both, should I say? So yeah, and a lot of rulers, I think you used to get inches along one side, and then you used to get millimeters along the other side. So a lot of going back in history, they realised once they had both, they could sell both and have both tape measures. I know that a lot of tape measures in the US have only got imperial measurements on them because they're used to using them like that. But in the UK, all their tape measures have all got inches on one side, and then they've got millimeters on the other side, up to meters.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. When I am doing stuff like in the laser machine and all the other stuff, I'm using millimeters. Because what are we doing otherwise? We're just going for long decimals. I'm not interested. So we're gonna see. We'll see that happen. We'll see that take place because there's a need. I am so tired of going into stores and not seeing what we need and just settling on what it is. Like you go into most of these stores these days to buy one piece, you have to buy 5 adapters. So it's a scenario where all I want to do is give the people what they need because that's really it. That's how I've run everything. Can I have it? Woodyah, my own family, anything I'm part of. I just want to make sure that when somebody needs something, it's met. And that's really it. That's why I feel like at the end of the day, the toe turner was just the start of this. I think that there's so much momentum going on right now in all the tool worlds that they're all coming together right now. It's up to us to make sure that these tools stay cool. I mean, that's pretty much it. I just want tools to be cool. That's pretty much it. I mean,
Scott, have you got anything else to ask? Scott.
Yes. Yeah, I've got one last question for you, and that is, what's rolling around in your brain for the future? What are you planning for the future that we can look forward to?
blades. There is a severe shortage of really cool blades available. The blades that are available are plentiful, but the blades that aren't available are not available, and that's where Woodyah is going to come in on its white horse. I already started making the spurs, the 45 spurs, as well as that little tiny spur screw. And I can't tell you, I sell them every day. Every day there's orders for those because they don't exist. They forgot about us. The world forgot about us. They think like, oh, they'll just get it from, whatever they get melted at the last war. No, we're not interested. We want nice shiny things. Like I talked to people, I had a guy call me the other day who was so happy that he didn't have to sit there and fix a screw that was bent. Like, imagine that. The guy's gonna sit there and he's mad because he has to spend 2 hours fixing out like a roached out screw, and he doesn't even know if it's gonna work right at the end. So those types of people, my customer just wants to be in the shop. That's it. They don't need to be the purist. They don't need to make sure it's all the same. It's the best customer on earth because I'm not selling anything. These people just need to stay in the shop, and I am helping them. And I think that's great. I do because I'm not pressured at all. Everything I make, people want.
Is there, and this is around screws rather than anything else, but some of the old Stanley stuff had Whitworth threads on them. Has that been a challenge to try and get people to actually make screws that are Whitworth threads?
It's a pain in the ass, but it's something that you have to do, right? If it was easy, everybody else would do it, right? It's a scenario of like, and even if people decided they wanted to do it, right, it would be a huge undertaking to even try. Like I don't know how the heck I ended up here, but all I know is that the mission and the feedback I get is astronomical because they know that when they go to put these tools together, it's going to work. And that's it. And that's something that, like, when you have a half complete part, a half complete plane, you don't know if what's about to come through the door is going to work. Half the time is that scary. Did I order the right thing? Let me order 7 other ones just so I don't get screwed. So it's like that with the screw chart, with the trust, with the members all around the world recommending me. It's one of those things where I just want to make sure people are happy with what I make. And I don't know if quality control really is there in the world anymore that much. So I just want to make sure that when there's woodworkers that need to finish a project, they know they could come to me and they know it's going to get handled properly. And that's all I want to do. And that's why, like, even with these prototypes, Sure, I might put it out there and I might have them on the internet, but they're not ready, some of them. So I'm not going to rush them out. And that's what I have a wait list for. So if you go to Woodyah and there's that prototype section, you would simply go into there, you see something you like, and you sign up to the wait list, just like you'd buy the thing. So for me, it's just let's just keep people creative. When I was teaching the camp stuff over this summer, you realize how many kids just don't know how to do anything. And for me, we have to make sure that people's idea of life isn't just behind, an electronic device. We need to make sure people know how to do things, and that's our job. That's all
So
our
so
job.
what
We're all
so
creative.
what irons are you thinking about making? Seeing as that's what Scott
What?
asked. What irons are you thinking of making? Blades, irons.
Well, the
What are
one
the
for
ones?
so on the wait list currently, the 140 blade and the scrubs are going to be coming first. Um, then it's going to be the block plane blades, and then I have the 67 blades coming, the 78, 79, 98, 99s, they'll be coming. But the number one thing that we have to remember is my wife won't let me take a loan. So every time you see a part coming, it's because someone bought a sticker, someone bought some of the other things I make, and they're really allowing me to fuel the other part. I haven't taken a paycheck from this thing. I haven't made a dime off this. My wife, I tell my wife, I went live on Wood by Right. I sold X amount. I sold out everything. She looks at me like, well, I still can't get excited. You let me know when I can start getting excited. Because there's nothing here yet. It's literally, I have a business for everybody out there right now. So every one of these, every time I do the restock and I do it, it's basically like I started at 10 screws. I'm at 500 screws. The next time is going to be 1,000 screws. And then it's just going to keep getting bigger. So my goal is just to make sure that I have the operating capital. Scott, that was great when we spoke. You had mentioned to just let people know that your wife won't let you take a loan, and it's not embarrassing, right? So I think at the end of the day, my own scariness was just admitting that my wife would kill me. So that's that. But overall, the tool world is really great. I really got involved in this like about 8 years ago, or 10 years ago now. Time's flying, and it's really been a blast. I've met some really cool people, and yeah, there's all supportive. I think support in this community is really incredible.
So
But
the one thing I would add that you didn't say, but I'll say for you, is that if you buy those gift cards anticipating you're going to buy something eventually from your company anyways, then what you're doing is you're fueling your ability. The community is fueling your ability to continue to expand into all of these experimental things and increase the product's size so that we don't run out and we don't have a long wait list.
yeah, to be honest with you, Scott, for me, I've had so many times where like the momentum was building. Like I had, let's say like the 66 extended blocks, the guides, right? World's first, blah blah blah, whatever. But I started selling them, and the momentum would pick up. The first week I'd sell one, the next day, after that I'd sell two or three, and then the next week four, and then the next week eight, and now I'm out of stock. But if I had the stock, we would all, it would just be continual. But that's everybody's business growth. That's nobody's real problem of mine. But I do want the ability for people to know that I am 100% here for the community. I am here for can I have it? I am here in the forums. I am here in the groups. If there's questions to be answered, I'll lend my ear. And that's generally what it is because I am part of this community. It's not this is not some big business budget here. This is just me. There's no other employees. This is just me looking to see a need in the world and stepping up into that need. So I thank everybody because tools are cool, and I'm really only here because of the acceptance among the community. That's really it. Really it. But I do want to wrap this up. I do want to just make sure that if there's any other questions or anything like that, I'd love to answer it. I feel that we covered a lot of ground, and I do thank everybody for hanging out this long. I think it's cool.
I'm just going to take a spotlight off so I can see everybody. Has anyone else got any questions for Anthony while he's here?
Before I go, who here has the best tool buying story? Because then I'll share mine. It could be an awesome part. It could be you found something awesome but tripped at the curb and it broke. Like it could be anything you could imagine. Because I got one that'll probably top you.
I think it'll be Gordon McCall.
Chet, who's got one?
Is Gordon here tonight?
I think probably the best that I have is that I had purchased planes that didn't have specific fences like the 42, and I was looking on Can I Have It, and there was the perfect fence that I needed, and they don't always fit right. I bought it and it fit perfectly. Those
Ooh.
sort of things are the real benefit, is where you can go on there and find somebody like the chamfer plane, and I got the nosing attachment for that also.
Wow.
Rare.
You stepped in it that day.
Yeah, exactly. Very rare that they fit each other because they were milled at the same time together, and perfect fit. So those kind of things are really great surprises. And
Oh my God, you probably stood there with your hands in the air, like, and that plane sitting there, like, holy cow, it worked. So, I'll leave with this story. So, one time, and this is a don't just talk sometimes, right? So I went into this pick, and it was a plumber, and he had one arm, and I felt, whatever, I'm bullshitting with the guy. So I'm going through, I'm buying stuff, blah blah blah, and he's telling me, he's like, oh yeah, I used to use these tools. I used to be a plumber. I used to blah blah blah, and he's like, I ended up losing my arm, and he went into the story of the arm loss, and then he's like, yeah, I got like, and I have a pile of like really cool tools now at this point. Like now it's just getting weird. So he turns to me and he's like, I ended up suing him. I got like $1 million. And I was like, oh, that's not so bad. And he's like, dude, I have one arm. And I to this day, I still choose my words wisely when I'm buying tools.
You got to hand it to him. He didn't.
Oh, yeah. Can you hand it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I am very happy. I am looking forward to the future. I hope that some of these things were cool for people. I am going to be another thing before I leave. This is a prototype router plane that I got going on right now. I flashed it online and a couple people loved it. So I'll probably be making something like this in the future. What I realized was with the fugly fence, I have the ability to actually make tools. And since I have like the 271 blades, I could make my own router planes now. Like the game has changed. So, we don't always have to look for bodies anymore. I learned that we have the ability to actually create really cool stuff. So that's another thing I'll be using in the future, or showing you guys more of these. I found another bracket. Like when I go through stores now, I look around to see like what brackets I could use. I wish I could find it, but I can't right now. But I found one of those brackets for like ceiling fans. So it has the opening and then the 2 slots on the side. Tell me that's not made in heaven. So I'm gonna see about retrofitting routers into those. But I wanna, like I said, everything I want to do is just geared around having fun, and is it useful for someone? Because if it's not useful, I don't want to do it. So that's what I'm using the prototype section for on Can I Have It? And I'm globally inviting everybody on Earth right now to the Makers Mall. Because if you have something to sell, it could be something you make, it could be something that you flip, it could be anything. But if you think that all the people that are on my site deserve to know about that thing, let me know. Because I think that that's how we're going to have to do this from now on. We have to rely on each other more and more. And it doesn't only have to be on Facebook. It could be everywhere. So we might as well have it where the eyes on my site find you. Okay? So that's an open invite. Please reach out. And thank you, everybody. This is Anthony. Tools are cool. Always remember it. And stay safe in the shop. I do think the shop stickers are very useful. I think that just those little reminders, I'm at 100% compliance with wearing my goggles at the drill press. as well as 100% compliance at the buffer, because we all know safety squints do not protect your eyeballs. Okay.
Yeah.
So, other than that,
one other thing, Anthony, is and if people don't know that 3 years ago, it's been 3 years that I did a video on your tool design, simple 3D tool designs, and it's still up on YouTube. So if anybody wants to know about the tail that I showed earlier and the tilting handle, I describe it and I talk about using it for the first time and putting it together, because there's a little learning curve in there. You get rid of well, I've saved it, but you get rid of the regular rod that holds the tote on, and you switch it for the rod that you supply.
Whoa, Chet, we've come a long way. We've come a long way, baby.
Maybe you need to send me.
I manufacture both those screws now. Okay. So now when you take the tote turner, your original hardware works in it, because I'm not playing around with screws anymore. The tote turner is threaded with the proper threads. Okay. And the screws that I normally sell on the site, the frog hold down screw, as well as the front tote screw that I sell on Woodyah, those now are in the tote turner. That secures it to the bed. So those are all Woodyah screws. I'm sure you even have the manual turned ones that I made. You have the original Allen key. For everybody out there, before I leave, there's a war on Allen keys right now, and I'm running it. Okay. We are no longer going to be stuck looking for Allen keys that we cannot fit anymore. That's over. Okay. My screws, I want to show everybody here before I leave. My screws. Okay. These are the Woodyah screws right here. I'm going to even switch cameras because I love all of you. Give me a second. So these screws right here, I offer a big head, a big gnarling head. That's what I want to do. I want you to grab a screw and know you're going to be able to turn it. You're going to be able to turn it, okay? Then you're going to have a slot in case you really want to put it on, okay? You really want to make sure, okay? Because that's the way we all want it. We want confidence. I don't want to have to look for an Allen key that I don't know if it's going to fit and this and that, and now I don't have clearance to get all the way. I'm not interested. I'm going in with a screwdriver, and that's the war we're on. Eventually, I'm going to be replacing accessory screws in all your hardware, all your common modern tools that you have to look for a Allen key and hate your life. I'm going to then offer these replacement screws so you could just stick your finger in and make your adjustments, because that's the type of guy I am. So anyway.
Great. But so it'll be a little different, but you could still check out that video to see what they do. And they're very high quality. I didn't have to sand them or cut things off. The knob, the squirrel tail and everything went on beautifully. So,
oh my God.
And it's been 3 years and he's been making improvements. So it's well worth watching the video and knowing that you can buy from him with confidence. He's one of the most honest men I've ever met in my life. So
wow, Chet, I love you, baby. I love you. All right, but anyway, I gotta head out. I appreciate everybody's time today. I hope I didn't bore you. But please, just anytime you need anything, you reach out to me. This isn't a sales pitch. This is me saying, let's be friends. You right?
So it's customary in bench talk that we have a toast to the bench at the end. So to the bench and absent
really?
friends.
Oh, yes. Give me a second. I water.
To the bench
and absent friends.
Cheers.